The air hung heavy with tension as I sat in my dimly lit apartment, surrounded by stacks of documents and recordings, evidence of a truth too terrifying to ignore. For years, I had been a loyal government employee, blissfully unaware of the sinister machinations lurking beneath the surface of our society. But now, armed with irrefutable proof of a government cover-up involving alien abductions and UFO sightings, I knew I had to act.
My dude, this is crazy,
My trusted friend exclaimed, terrified of the government potentially killing us off. Listen, we have to make this public. We can't leave these findings in the dark any longer, I said, trembling with my own fear.
But dude, don't you think there's a reason why they have kept this a secret for 3 decades? I mean, yes, the concept of aliens felt unreal to begin with. However, there is more knowledge than meets the eye, and we're not qualified.
Listen to me, Connor. We've got this. We have to tell them, whether they believe us or not. I ended the call on him before he could respond. I didn't want to admit that he had a possibility of being right. As I prepared to go public with my findings, a sense of unease gnawed at the pit of my stomach. The knowledge that powerful forces would stop at nothing to silence me filled me with a bone-deep dread. But I couldn't let fear dictate my actions, not when the truth hung in the balance. With trembling hands, I uploaded the damning evidence to a secure server, ready to expose the conspiracy to the world. But before I could take another breath, a sharp knock echoed through the apartment, sending a chill down my spine. This is my fate. Heart pounding, I approached the door cautiously, peering through the peephole to see 2 men in dark suits standing on the other side. Instinctively, I knew they were not there to offer me protection.
Open up, Mr. Reynolds.
One of them called out, his voice dripping with malice.
We need to have a little chat.
I hesitated, my mind racing with the possibilities of what awaited me on the other side of that door. But I couldn't turn back now, not when the truth was so close within my grasp. Come on, you've got this, I whispered to myself. With a deep breath, I unlocked the door and swung it open, steeling myself for whatever lay ahead. The 2 men entered my apartment with predatory grace, their eyes gleaming with an intensity that petrified me to my core.
We know what you've been up to, Mr. Reynolds,
the other man said, his voice low and menacing.
And let's just say, the powers that be aren't too pleased.
I tried to maintain my composure, but the fear coursing through my veins threatened to consume me whole. I don't know what you're talking about, sir, I exclaimed. Is there any reason you should see treason with me?
We know everything, Mr. Reynolds. There is no use in hiding from this. Before you ruin our 3 decades or work, we're going to have you exterminated.
They knew about the evidence, the proof of their crimes, and they would stop at nothing to ensure it never saw the light of day. I tried to put up a fight, defending myself with all the strength I had left. But I couldn't. They overpowered me in a matter of minutes, tossing me all the way to the hallways. You're not going to get away with this, I mumbled, my shallow breathing getting heavier and heavier.
Little boy, you don't know what's about to happen to you,
he sneered. But just as they advanced towards me, a blinding light filled the room, illuminating the apartment with an otherworldly glow. Through the window, I saw a massive UFO hovering in the night sky, its sleek metallic surface gleaming in the moonlight.
Story 2.
I never believed in aliens. The idea of aliens felt unnatural to me, too fictional for the depths and theories of reality. There was no way I was going to fall for the government's lies and manipulations about the existence of aliens. Not until that fateful night when I stumbled upon the crop circles in my field. It was a warm summer evening, and I was making my rounds, checking on the crops before heading in for the night. The blazing sun was stronger than ever, and I sweated profusely under it. Oh, today has been a long day, I sighed, finishing my rounds for the day. It's time for me to check all the crops. After finishing the checkup, everything looked fine and dandy, and I could go on my merry way. But as I approached the edge of the field, something caught my eye. A strange pattern etched into the earth, like a giant spiral stretching out before me. At first, I thought it was some kind of prank, the work of mischievous teenagers looking for a thrill. But as I ventured closer, I realized the truth was far more absurd. The crop circles were intricate, almost mathematical in their precision, with perfectly straight lines and precise angles. Scattered throughout the field were strange metallic objects, glinting in the moonlight like beacons from another world. This can't be possible. What could commit such an act? Not even the teenagers could make such geometric shapes. Fear clenched at my heart as I realized this was no prank. This was something far beyond the realm of human understanding. I tried to rationalize it away, to convince myself that there must be some logical explanation for the phenomenon. I'm sure there's a humanely logical explanation for this debacle. There has to be, I whispered to myself, wanting to believe the possibility of a UFO. I, the least superstitious person, was starting to believe in aliens. Crazy, right? But as the days passed, strange things began happening on the farm. Unexplained power outages, strange lights in the sky, and eerie whispers echoing through the night. This couldn't have been the actions from another dimension.
And then came the visions. Vivid, unsettling images of alien beings with elongated limbs and large black eyes. They haunted my dreams, whispering secrets of worlds beyond the stars and urging me to join them in their cosmic journey. The more I investigated, the more resistance I encountered. This was something that couldn't be unmatched.
The police chalked it up to wild animals, claiming that the crop circles were nothing more than the result of hungry deer searching for food. But I knew better. I had seen the truth with my own eyes, felt the presence of something far beyond our comprehension lurking in the shadows. I'm here to warn you about the dangers that would lie ahead, about the possibilities of planets and species that exist outside of this Earth. You don't have to believe me.
Story 3.
The crisp mountain air filled my lungs as my friends and I embarked on our much-anticipated climbing trip. The rugged terrain stretched out before us, promising adventure and camaraderie. I have been excited about this trip for months, breathing in Mother Nature and reeling the beautiful scenery before me. "Let's do this, guys!" I yelled out.
Yeah, man! We got this in the bag!
Arnold yelled back.
Look at the snow. Everything looks so ethereal.
Josh looked around in awe. We continued surging through the depths of the mountains, carefully taking our time in order to not fall off. The last thing I wanted was to fall face flat on the sharp rocks. We got lucky to find an empty cave to reside in for the next 4 days of our trip.
It's so cozy in here! I've desperately needed this warmth since the beginning of this trip.
Arnold dramatically sighed on the sleeping bags. We laughed and joined him, equally exhausted from the hike. The first 2 nights were amazing in the cave, exploring the depths of the mountains and attempting to enjoy the unappealing food choices we made for survival. We were genuinely happy, but we didn't anticipate how this would take an unexpected turn. It was on the 3rd night of our expedition that things began to unravel. We decided to move our usual sleeping spot to this tent that was discovered 20 miles away. Thinking nothing eerie about it, we decided to use it ourselves. "Nothing can go wrong," I said in bliss, ignorant of our actions having consequences. As we huddled around the campfire, swapping stories and laughter, a strange light appeared in the sky, a pulsating orb of brilliance that seemed to defy explanation. We watched in awe as the light danced across the heavens, casting an ethereal glow over the mountainside. But as quickly as it had appeared, it vanished into the night, leaving us bewildered and unnerved.
I thought it was the Northern Lights.
Josh, that wasn't the Northern Lights, you idiot!
Well, then tell me what it was, you genius.
I allowed my friends to continue fighting until they finally calmed down, chalking up the incident as a trick of the light. But the unease lingered in the air like a shadow. Something was truly wrong. "Let's just go to bed." My voice trembled through the cold snow. And then, in the dead of night, it happened. The ground beneath us trembled, and we were swallowed up by darkness. When I awoke, disoriented and alone, I found myself miles from our campsite with no memory of how I had gotten there. Panic surged through me as I called out for my friends, but there was no response, only the eerie silence of the wilderness. "Josh, Arnold, please tell me where you guys are hiding. This isn't funny anymore." I screamed for their names until my voice became hoarse. I became hysterical with hunger and lack of sleep, questioning my sanity. Days passed in a blur of confusion and fear as I searched desperately for any sign of my companions. But all I found were fragments of memories, disturbing dreams of otherworldly beings and visions of a strange alien landscape that seemed to exist beyond comprehension. As I struggled to make sense of the chaos unfolding around me, I encountered a lone figure standing on the edge of a precipice. A figure stood with a menacing stance. Their eyes seemed to pierce straight through to my soul. "Where are my friends?" I demanded, my voice trembling with fear. The figure regarded me with a knowing smile, its voice echoing through the caverns of my mind.
They are with us now.
It whispered, its words sending chills down my spine.
And soon, you will join them.